This video is a Map Business Online presentation about demographic data. And what I'd like to show is all of the places in Map Business Online where you can access demographic data. We have a wide library, a growing library of census categories, and we've even got data in Canada. It's much more comprehensive in the US. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you a county map and show you that we can access demographic data by going into the color code map function by county, zip code, state, census tract, any of the layers that we have that represent an area on the map or a map layer, and you can pull down the drop down, grab demographic data, and it's all right there. Look at all that data. I mean, it's just data crazy. We've got so much data. The first poll on the 2018 data is a projection, and then down below that, it starts with census releases at 2017. I'm just going to grab population data from the census and quickly just do a population map without adjusting any of the pre-formatted coloring or anything, just so I show you what it looks like and you're aware you can grab it from the county layer. So the next data layer I would like to talk about, I had color code by county, and so over here, I'm going to go over by the county layer here, and I am going to hover over the Edit Map Properties button, and down under the general label, you can see Manage Calculated Data Columns. This is another place where you're accessing demographic data. And the reason you're doing that is to perform a calculation on it. So we're going to add a column here. And that column I'm going to call, well, let's go down here and just decide what we're going to do. Let's say we wanted to merge an age group. And everybody's favorite age group is population. And you can see I can grab a layer and pull it over into my calculating screen. So we're going to go female 65 to 90 or 69, and then I'm just going to use my Control Shift and bring over more. So there's all my elderly in the United States that are female. I could divide that by another column. I could divide it by overall population and come up with a ratio of what that overall female population means to the overall population. I can put that down here, but I'm just going to sum all of those and create a data column out of that. I'm going to name that Older Ladies USA. And we're going to then go down here and click the Add Data column. You can actually go in and make sure that your decimal places are good, that your number of places are all right, that you use 1,000 separator, and you can actually change the format here. So if you were doing a ratio, you could make it a percentage. So I'm going to add that data column, older ladies. So now, if I go back to my county color code button and I choose the county layer, and I grab my calculated data, older lady shows up. It's the only option I have by that map layer, because you have to do the calculations for each map layer. And I can go in and just throw that on the map. I'm going to just choose another color scheme this time. I'm not going to worry about changing all the numbers, but that's all doable. And we'll click done. So those are two places, calculated data columns and the actual map layer, where you can grab demographic data and use it in Map Business Online. Now that would apply to territories, for instance. My territories in this case, I have got a color scheme assigned by territory. There it is. It's older Americans. So in that case, I've combined the age group. Click done, and I get the view that you've got on the map, which is territories, which is on top of my counties at this point, but there are two different map views, two different thematic representations of data in Map Business Online. So you can get zip codes, states, territories, regions, divisions. You can pull that demographic data into those functions. Now you can also pull the demographic data into labels. So if I brought my territory label, my territory layer up, hit the edit gear. I'm going to do that. I went ahead of myself a little bit. I'm hitting that edit gear. I'm choosing labels. I'm formatting labels. And I'm going to, let's see, we've got, in this case, it's going to be custom labels because it's the territory. And so we're going to go demographic data. And I'm just going to stick with population, put a little bit of information there. Population. And I guess I should explain that it's 2018. Click change labels. And it added the demographic data to my territory label. You can do that for counties, you can do that for zip codes, you can do that for states. You can add demographic data from Map Business Online to those labels. So now you're showing a county or a territory color-coded based on demographic data with a label that can express up to 5 flexible fields of other demographic data. We go to the data window view. We have our list of territories here. And if I dig into any particular territory like Colorado, and I look at the data that I've got associated with Colorado in my territory analysis, you can see I have consumer expenditures, which is demographic data. I have higher income here, which is a calculated data column. How do I get those into this analysis? I click more data down in the lower right. So you'll see we've got higher income here. I'll bring that over to the left, which takes it out. We've got population. And where are all those? Well, you do this drop down here, and there's your calculated data options here. So I could instead bring over my male ages 65 plus, which, by the way, is a calculated data column I built before the video in the territory map layer. And I could go back up here to just general demographic data and go way down here to 2014 or 15 and grab all the employed people in 2015 for this particular area of Colorado. Set the data columns, and now you can see my employment data. Consumer expenditures were already there. My males age 65 plus. So more data is yet another place that you can access demographic data in Map Business Online. And then the last place I want to show you is when you put a map object on the map. So it could be a circle, a radius search, a polygon search, a freeform search, or even a drive time search. There's a drive time, 15 minutes. And I'm just going to zoom into that little drive time area. And there it is. So I've got this particular drive time, 15 minutes around that point. And I can actually summarize demographic data for that layer. So that's when we put a map object on the map, and I'll do it again. So radius search, map object, don't need to do a search on it. There's a little mini toolbar that shows up. And the mini toolbar includes a summary. So you've got a search button to search your own data, a business listings search, and then a summary of demographic data. So you can actually pull 2018 population for that area. Now you have a little spreadsheet of all the people in that particular area. You can add it to the map, but you can also export that as a file. So if I went back and looked at that again, go through next, and you can export that out as a CSV file. So, which you can also do with more data in the data window view. So if we go back to that, you do have the ability to export from the data window any of the demographic data that you've selected. So you can color your various layers in Map Business Online based on demographic data. You can add demographic data to the map layer labels, territory labels. You can access demographic data in Map Business Online through the More Data button and bring it into your analysis or add it to a zip code layer. And you can draw map objects on the map and attach demographic data to that map object and then export that out, create a little spreadsheet from that. Those are a variety of ways. Don't forget, calculated data columns lets you do some multiplication, division, and summation of demographic data that you can then insert into your map in all of these ways. Go to mapbusinessonline.com and take our free trial.